So let's dig into whistles. So there's 3 different styles of whistles that we're going to talk about. Referee style whistle, which is kind of the classic look. There is a more of a megaphone style, and then there is what I like to call the British style whistle. Let's dig into each one of these, and the one thing that I'd really like you to consider when you decide which style is right for you, being consistent is really going to be important for your dog. If you're using mega whistle one day and then all of a sudden using a British style whistle, and then maybe you order another one because you lost one on the road and it changes the pitch, it changes the tone. Think of what the purpose of this tool is, to communicate with your dog, whether that's at a distance, whether that's through elements like splashing through the water. The whistle is going to give you a clean, crisp style of communication to your dog, and it's a command, right? So you're using this to deliver a command to your dog. So if you start changing the tone, changing the pitch, changing that noise, it is likely to confuse the dog. Now, a seasoned dog might be able to roll with it, but specifically a younger dog, I'm telling you, it can be like all of a sudden you're speaking Spanish just by changing that tone up. So it's very, very important when you get one of these, be consistent with it. I like to get 4 or 5 of them so I know that they're the same. I keep one in my blind bag, one in my truck, keep a couple in the package so that when I lose one, I have them ready to go and I know that they're the same. So that's how I do it. So here's what, again, I call it the referee style whistle. Okay, so this is going to be a whistle that does have a P in it. So the P is a little cork ball that will roll and help give the pitch. So this sounds like, it's very loud. It has a kind of a trill to it. This is going to be nice and easy as far as it's small. It's easy to carry around. It doesn't get in the way. You can put it in your pocket. You can have it on a lanyard. It's not bouncing around. So it is a really nice, easy, convenient. This is kind of the classic whistle. Now, the style that's going to be very popular in the retriever world is going to be a megaphone-style whistle. So these 3 whistles are all going to sound a little different. Okay, so right here I have what we call the Tallahassee whistle. We have the Gunner's Up whistle. And then we have the Sport Dog Mega Whistle. So one of the questions you might be asking if you're new to this is, why have that megaphone style? I do believe that there's a projection that goes with that, so that sound might carry a little farther. If you're really working at really long distances, it may give you a little advantage. It's really about protecting my hearing. For me, when you're blowing a whistle all the time, especially in my situation where it's every day, it really does take a toll on your hearing. The downside is, as you can see, it's much bigger and bulkier, so it is going to kind of get in the way. It's going to be dependent on how you carry it, if it's a lanyard, but this is going to be a very popular style in the retriever community, and this is what I personally use. The Tallahassee does come, this is the 5-inch, it does come in a 3-inch as well, so it does have a smaller option to where you can still get that megaphone, but not so big and bulky. So the last one is going to be the British style whistle. I can tell you that I've actually really fallen in love with this whistle because it is so quiet. As you can hear, so much quieter than the other whistles that we've had here. Now, so this is a whistle style that I've actually really started to enjoy. I didn't like it years ago, but I've really started to appreciate this because of how quiet it is. I can tell you when I'm in the field, specifically hunting, I don't like hearing whistle, 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 whistle. This is just much quieter, much more subtle, and the dogs respond to it really, really well. I do think that if you're working at, again, long distances, if you are working in a lot of like the splash kind of elements, whether hunting or training, I do think that the dogs can't hear this maybe nearly as well as they can something like the mega whistle, but this is a great application, especially if you're an upland hunter and you want to be able to hunt, you want to be able to still communicate with your dog using a whistle, but you don't want to be really loud, letting the birds know you're coming, irritating the people around you because just whistle, whistle, whistle. So this is a really great option, especially again if you're going to be in that upland field. I think this is one to really consider. It's really small, easy, you can keep it out of the way, but yet again it still lets you communicate with your dog at a very crisp, clean way and at a lower volume. So that's a big benefit here with that British style whistle. So with whistle training, I think one of the things that we should all appreciate is that this is no different than a vocal command. So when I say sit, right, when I give the command sit and verbally give sit, I expect the dog to respond by sitting down. For me, one single whistle blast means sit. So sit and are exactly the same thing. So you don't have to overcomplicate this and make this to where it's a whole nother repertoire of commands. This is simply replacing your voice in your whistle training.